Ellen McCauley, Pray It Off in Syracuse, New York. I just was talking about an anti-inflammatory diet and should you follow it. My final thought was being your own advocate when you're with the doctor. And here's something else. If you're going somewhere and they're not helping you, go someplace else. But it's like getting a job. Don't quit your job till you have a new job. So don't quit your doctor till you have a new doctor. Now, the primary care physician, try to find a good one. A specialist, if you don't like the specialist, get something else if you can. Also, an anti-inflammatory diet, all you need to know about it is it's real food. And you might be out there going, Ellen, what's real food? A piece of chicken. And starting, I don't know when. I prepared so many meetings in advance because I'm going away. But I'm putting these whole dinner meals together, and they're to die for. It's like chicken, like a little salad. It's like real food. It's lettuce. It's leafy greens. It's apples. Everyone here should be eating an apple every day. An apple's the best food you can have. So, as far as the anti-inflammatory diet goes, fruits, vegetables, salmon, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains. But be careful about having those nuts in moderation, because I talked about how many calories are in them. You should not be eating pastries and chips and bagels. You shouldn't. And you're like, well, Ellen, I like it. But we're talking about losing weight and getting rid of our pain and being healthy. Fried foods, sugary drinks, red meats, processed meats, excess alcohol. I haven't had a drink since December. I survived. Look I'm okay. No one called 911. Ellen hasn't had a drink since December. Is she okay? I'm fine. Okay. So, if you have arthritis, if you have an autoimmune illness, if you have trouble getting out of bed or moving, you should try an anti-inflammatory diet. Let me give you a sample menu. For breakfast, you have a bowl of oatmeal with sliced strawberries, some chia seeds or walnuts, which is a 1/4 cup, and you can even have 1 tablespoon of natural peanut butter mixed in. Does that sound good? To me, it does. For lunch, you can have a salad, which means lettuce and things of that nature, with tomato, avocado. And be careful, avocado's got a lot of calories. When I have an avocado, I usually have a half an avocado or a 1/4. Chickpeas, salmon tossed with olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette. Delicious. But don't have a honker salad. Don't have a salad so big you can barely carry it to the table. A snack, unsalted almonds with a small orange. You see that kind of snack? It doesn't say donut, right? Dinner, grilled chicken with sauteed spinach and a sweet potato, a small sweet potato. You could even have a little ghee on it. You see, that's what I mean by real food. And then we talked about a physical pain. We talked about losing weight and helping our physical pain. But a lot of us are in emotional or psychological or even spiritual pain. I have to tell you, I'm pretty naive about certain things. And when the sex abuse scandal came out about the Catholic Church and how it was hidden for all those years and all the children who were hurt, I cannot tell you the spiritual crisis not only I had, but many people of the faith. And it took a long time for me to realize that evil goes where it can do the most harm. Evil goes to the Boy Scouts, teachers, priesthood, not just in the Catholic Church. And that we all need to be vigilant and we need to have our eyes open. And Jesus is all that matters. God, the Holy Trinity, and that's where we need to focus it's great to be Catholic, it's great to have the Eucharist, but we got to focus on Jesus, and then we won't have a spiritual crisis when bad things happen that we hear about. An emotional crisis is harder. We're going to lose everyone we love, and then we're going to die ourselves. Okay, isn't that nice? That's life. And if we don't face it with a certain amount of acceptance, and a certain amount of faith, we can go crazy. So the same life that brings pain brings joy, okay? We can either deny or hide our feelings, or we can, and that puts even more stress on the body. But we can't beat a dead horse. We got to say, hey, this is going on. I'm concerned about it, but I'm still going to try and find some joy. Inherent in the human condition, we're going to feel some distress, because that's life. But dwelling in that distress is something we shouldn't do, because it can ruin our whole lives. And even if something bad is happening to us, a sick loved one, something we're dealing with, we need to find some time for ourselves and some time for joy, if at all possible. And we need to also sometimes do a reset. The reset is, and one of the things I do is I always, and I've done it my whole life, I call it, I chose this. No matter what happens in my life, I imagine that God stopped me, froze time, I didn't remember, and said, Ellen, either this could happen or that could happen. You choose. And no matter what I'm going through, I chose. Because it can be worse. So maybe you got a loved one who's sick, but maybe God's saying, they're going to be sick and it's going to be challenging. Or they can get in a car accident and die immediately, and you'll never have those years together that you can learn and love and grow closer, even though they have, challenging issues. You chose that. That's what I say. So the key is not to dwell in the distress, but to try to find some of the joy. So we need to get back in our rational mind. Anyone here ever go crazy about something? Like, go berserk? I can't believe this happened! Oh my gosh, that's Bob driving in the car. Oh, why are they driving like that? No, we need to always try to be rational about things. Like, try to take deep breaths. What can I learn from this? I didn't want this to happen. What can I learn? We have to do that breathing exercises. I breathe in with life. I breathe out with a smile. I breathe in with life. And I love this one, the diver's reflex. If things are really bad and you think you're having a panic attack, immerse your head in a dishpan of freezing cold water. That's what the diver's reflex is. Because it'll shock you into breathing better and getting out of your going down that path. That's why so many people take cold showers for stress. So stick your head in that cold water. Sensory stimulation. I get a great deal of stimulation from music. We fixed our stereo in the basement. There's a ton of room. Bob and I put on Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and we danced for a half hour. Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. I beg you to feel bad dancing to Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Also, reset your worldview. Is things a little cray-cray right about now?
Absolutely.
But we can pray. We have Jesus as our co-pilot. Also, we need to have some realism. The world is going through a difficult time. The weapon I have is prayer. And then you say, my loved one might be ill, but I'm not. Thank you, Jesus, that I'm not ill, so that I can take care of my loved one, so that I can help my loved one. You always try to find the reset button. Then you say, nothing is permanent. This is going to pass. Jeannie, that's one of her favorite lines. This too shall pass. And guess what? It does. It does pass. And then you can also say, I will not let this define me. I won't. I struggle with my weight, but it never defined who I was as a person, because I wouldn't let it. My mother wouldn't let it. And then you can say this, I'm having trouble losing weight right now, but I've already lost some weight and kept it off. I get a lot out of pray it off, so I'm going to continue to go. I'm going to stop right there, Bob, and do one more.